Hey everybody, it's your boy labbearome, the Disabled Fragrance Guy, and I'm back for another review. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, please go down below, like and subscribe to the channel. While you're down there, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified about every time I drop a video to YouTube. I don't want you guys missing a beat. I want you guys subscribed to my channel. I want to bring you along on my journey every week. So if you wouldn't mind, if this is your second or more time on my channel, let's say, feel free to like this video, go ahead and subscribe, and you'll be notified about every time I drop a video to YouTube. So y'all know I'm an insomniac. I just don't get a lot of sleep at night. It is what it is. I've been dealing with it for a number of years. And when I can't sleep, I go stalking Instagram for content to bring you guys. I do. I have scrolled through Instagram at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning in search of perfumers, houses, fragrances to bring you in this content, and I did that today as well. I reached out to Electimuss London, and as you can see here, you can see the tops of these bottles. They reached back out to me and were gracious enough to send me a couple of fragrances for my review. So today I will be reviewing for you Electimuss London and Rhodanthe and Imperium. So first, let's just talk about this presentation. These bottles are simply amazing, y'all. Amazing. They are heavy, heavy, heavy. These are paperweights. These are absolute paperweights. They gotta weigh at least 2.5, 3 pounds each. But the presentation is second to none here. You got the beautiful glass here, thick, heavy glass. You have the sun ray on the bottom. You have the gold around here wrapped around with the Electimuss logo on the front and Electimuss etched in there. This cap as well has the Electimuss logo. No expense was spared on these bottle presentations. These are absolutely amazing. This is a heavy metal cap. I do not suggest picking it up from the cap because it is kind of loose. Don't do that. I shouldn't have done that. Bad me. But presentation is on point for Electimuss. So I'm going to review Rhodanthe first. Rhodanthe came out in 2019. The nose behind the fragrance is Sofia Bardelli. In the top for the notes we have cloves, pear, lemon, and bergamot. In the mid we have Bulgarian rose, raspberry, saffron, pink pepper, violet, and black tea. In the base we have agarwood or oud, patchouli, amber, cedar, musk, and vanilla. Sizes and prices. These are 100 ml bottles, y'all. 100 ml bottles. They are going to run you 165 pounds. That translates into about $220 USD before tax. So, not too bad on the price point for a 100 ml bottle. You get what you pay for, and this is absolute luxury. Absolute luxury. The presentation is on point. So, the description, Rhodanthe was a captivating beauty, and her suitors pursued her and were intoxicated by her allure. I couldn't have said it better myself, because this is an alluring, alluring fragrance. Tester strip. I'm going to give you a little bit of a first spray here to remind me of the opening. Atomizer is beautiful. This opens with a spicy trio of pear, lemon, and bergamot, and I attribute the spice to the cloves. Now, I'm used to citruses being bright and happy and not as brooding or foreboding as the citruses come across in Rhodanthe. And the citruses come across that way because of the spiciness of the cloves. It actually, if this were Game of Thrones, these citruses would be on the front lines defending Castle Black from the White Walkers. I'm just saying. That's the best way I can describe it. And I probably got that wrong. But, yeah, these are definitely darker, more brooding citruses. The rose is apparent to me upon the first spray. I don't have to wait for mid and base notes because my nose detects every note upon the first and second spray, which is kind of weird because this kind of leans linear on my skin. Once I've sprayed it, I know what I'm going to get throughout the life cycle of the fragrance. Everything hits me at once. Like I said, I don't have to wait for anything. So the good parts about the fragrance, the agarwood, the oud, the patchouli, the amber, the cedar, the musk, the vanilla, they are all at the forefront for me, and I absolutely love that about this fragrance. I get a distinctive kind of petrol or gasoline vibe here, and it's reminiscent of, it reminds me of Fahrenheit. If you like Fahrenheit, I do think you will like Rhodanthe. It is more masculine. I do think this tilts more on the masculine side of the spectrum, but can a woman pull this off? Yes, if she's confident, I do think a woman can pull this off. But like I said, I do believe it leans more to the masculine side of the spectrum. There's woody cedar in the base, but like I said, I can smell that throughout the life cycle of the fragrance. Lots of musk. There's a lot of musk here. If you don't like musk, if you are not a fan of musky fragrances, you may want to look elsewhere because there's a lot of musk here. So much musk. I'm just saying. I like it, but you may not. So if you are not a fan of musk, this might not be for you. I do not get black tea. I get a tea vibe. I don't necessarily define it as black tea. So it's kind of darker-ish. My nose doesn't perceive it as that. But I do get violet, and my brain, if I'm saying this correctly, and I hope I convey this correctly, my brain perceives this fragrance as being purple. There's violet in the fragrance, in the mid, but throughout the life cycle of the fragrance, all my brain is perceiving is that I've got to wear something purple when I spray this fragrance. That's what it's doing to me. That's the vibe I get. And I love purple, so I will absolutely be wearing purple when I wear this outside for the masses. If purple were a fragrance, this would be that fragrance. Absolutely. I get 10 plus hours of performance on my skin. This is no slouch. It will last you a full work day. Rhodanthe is amazing. I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. It is well worth your money, and I highly, highly recommend it. All right, folks, we're back for part two of my Electimuss review. Now we are going to review Electimuss Imperium. Same presentation as Rhodanthe. This bottle is beautiful. If you throw it at somebody, you are going to injure them. Don't do that. This is a heavy, heavy bottle. Imperium came out in 2020. The notes of the fragrance are: from the top, we have bergamot and coriander. In the mid, we have lily, jasmine, tuberose, saffron, rose, and neroli. And in the base, we have vanilla, musk, guaiac, amber, agarwood or oud again, and patchouli. Sizes and prices are the same as Rhodanthe. 100 ml bottle will run you 165 pounds or 220 about USD. So the inspiration for Imperium: supreme executive power held by the intellectual and political giants of the ancient world. This exudes confidence, style, and elegance, the scent of success. And I absolutely, absolutely agree with that. Let's spray a little bit of Imperium. The atomizer is wonderful again. It opens with a bright and spicy bergamot. The spiciness is, of course, due to the coriander. Now, once you spray this fragrance, you're going to be reminded of another fragrance. I've heard it, I notice it, I acknowledge it. You're going to be reminded of Aventus. Okay, let's just get it out of the way. Is this a clone of Aventus? Clone is too heavy of a word. I believe this is an inspiration. I believe that this is reminiscent of earlier fruity batches of Aventus. I believe you will absolutely get that vibe. Does it smell exactly like Aventus? No, but you are absolutely going to get the vibe of Aventus, earlier fruity batches, absolutely, without a doubt, hands down. I mean, it just is what it is. This is more exhilarating to me than Aventus, though. This is more stimulating. Some say, like I said, it reminds them of the fruitier batches of Aventus. I can see that. I think, however, if Nishane Ani and Aventus got together for a romp in the hay after a night on the town and they had a love child, it would be Imperium. That's what I think, because the vanilla in the base is just that pronounced. And it does remind me of Ani, and it does remind me of Aventus. So if Ani and Aventus got together, you know, just had, you know, one of those situations, absolutely this would come out and it would be Imperium. I also get a little bit of a creamsicle vibe for about, in about 5 minutes after I spray the fragrance. So it does have a little bit of a gourmand tinge to it. Not exactly gourmand. You're not going to get a cavity. You're not going to think that, you know, you can gnaw off your arm. That's not what I'm saying here, but it does get a little bit of a gourmand vibe going about 5 minutes into the fragrance. It's good for any season, any reason. I think this would shine, however, in the springtime as, let's say, a gourmand freshie, due to that creamsicle vibe, and the bergamot freshens it up a little bit. I do believe you can get away with this in the springtime as a gourmand freshie. So if you love gourmands and you love your fresh fragrances, I think this is one you can pull off in the spring. There is sensual musk in the base. It's quite sexy, rounds out the smoothness. It could also be likened or, you know, similarized to Hasavat from Nishane. So you get a little bit of Nishane in here. You get a little bit of Aventus in here. I think overall the interpretation is there, but it stands on its own 2 feet as a singular fragrance. I get about 8.5 to 9 hours on my skin. The performance is no slouch. Excellent performance for this floral spicy fragrance. And again, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Y'all, that's my time. I know this review is going on very long. I don't want to, you know, belabor this anymore. I know you got things to do. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. That's my time. Go down below, like and subscribe, and I'll check you next time.